Impeachment proceedings against Vice President Sara Duterte continue today as House lawmakers scrutinize her financial records amid allegations she amassed unexplained wealth. For the latest, our multimedia reporter Isabel Pechoy is reporting live from the House of Representatives.
Despite repeated invitations from the committee, Vice President Sara Duterte remains a no-show as the House Committee on Justice continues with its clarificatory hearings. This morning, Committee Chair Representative Jervin Luis criticized Duterte for continuing impeachment hearings, saying the country's second highest official has chosen to respond to allegations about her academic performance instead of addressing more serious accusations. Luistro said it appears the committee has been ghosted and gaslighted as Duterte continues to skip hearings while public discussion shifts to what she called a trivial issue. For today's clarificatory, the Justice Panel dives into Duterte's financial records, focusing on Duterte's alleged ballooning wealth. According to Justice Panel member Bicol Saro Party List Representative Terry Ridon, Duterte's net worth grew by over 1,000% from 2007 to 2024. Records show, as confirmed by Attorney Karen Batu of the Office of the Ombudsman today, Duterte's declared net worth was at 7.2 million pesos in 2007, while Duterte was sitting as the Vice Mayor of Davao. In recent years, her declared net worth stood at 71.05 million pesos in 2022, 77.5 pesos in 2023, and 88.5 million pesos in 2024. The Office of the Ombudsman also confirmed that the Vice President did not declare any cash on hand and cash deposit beginning 2019 when she was sitting as the Mayor of Davao, disbursing cash in 2018 and prior years' SALNs. As the committee continues scrutiny over the contents of the VP SALN, another issue expected to come up is Vice President Sara Duterte's declared stake in GenCorp Industries Inc. in her SALN. However, Securities and Exchange Commission records from 2021 to 2024 reportedly do not list her as a stockholder, raising questions about possible inconsistencies. Earlier said this could mean either Duterte or GenCorp committed perjury since one document shows that she was a stockholder. Meanwhile, former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV is also present in subpoenas to present documents on the Vice President's alleged unexplained wealth. Prior to the hearing, Carpio tried to block the release of their tax records in court, citing data privacy, but the committee says it's too late. BIR already handed them. In her opening message, the committee chair pointed out that these documents must be analyzed closely. She said numbers, unlike people, do not have motives, as numbers do not lie. The chair said, however, with or without Duterte's cooperation or presence, the committee will continue on its mandate. This hearing follows previous discussions on confidential funds and will be followed by another hearing on April 29. The next hearing will then cover Duterte's alleged death threats against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and former House Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. For now, lawmakers are zeroing in on one central question: how did a public official's wealth grow this significantly over time? Neil?
Bella, first question, so ano exactly yung hinahanap ng ating mga mambabatas dyan sa House of Representatives in looking at the financial records of the Vice President? Basically, I'm asking, what is the end goal here at paano yon i-relate dito sa impeachment charges na kinakarap ng Vice President?
Yes, Neil, part of the impeachment complaints ay yun ngang unexplained wealth ng Vice Presidente, at sabi nga nila bilang isang public official, hindi maipaliwanag kung paano lumaki ng ganon mula sa 7 million noong 2007 ay nasa 88 million noong 2024 ang nakadeklara sa SALN ng Vice Presidente. At ngayon titignan nila taon-taon ano ba yung nakadeklarang SALN, at isa nga sa nakita nila ay walang nakadeklara na cash on hand simula noong 2019. hanggang sa 2024 salin ng Vice Presidente. At ito ay para suportahan yung mga alegasyon na nandun sa impeachment complaints laban sa Vice Presidente.
Bill, many things have been said about the conduct of the hearing of the House Committee on Justice. May mga nagsasabi na fishing expedition daw ito. Even si Vice President Sara Duterte said na fishing expedition itong ginagawa ng Committee on Justice, especially ngayong binubusisi na yung kanyang mga financial records. Ano masasabi ng mga mababatas tungkol dito?
Well, Neil, iisa yung palaging sinasabi ng kampo ng Vice Presidente at ito daw ay politically motivated expedition laban sa kanya. Pero paulit-ulit din sinasabi ng Justice Panel ng House of Representatives na yung kanilang ginagawang investigasyon at itong mga hearings na ito ay kailangan upang makita kung may probable cause na yung ginaganap na hearings para magpatuloy ito sa isang full-blown na Senate trial. At yung pagkuha nila ng mga dagdag pang dokumento ang makakapagbigay sa kanila ng desisyon para doon sa kanilang committee report bago ito ipadala sa plenary.
Well, I find the attendance and presence of former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV very interesting. So, ano yung role niya dyan? Is he being treated as a witness, a resource person?
Neil, hindi siya tinitreat as a witness dahil yun nga terminong witness ay para lang siya sa full na trial. Doon yun mangyayari sa Senate kung sakali man na boboto ang 1/3 ng plenary. At si Trillanes dito sa hearing ay tinuturing lamang na isang resource person. Ganon din ang lahat ng mga ipinatawag o mga ipinasabpina na mga key officials. All of them are considered resource persons.
Bel, so ano yung timeline na tinitingnan natin ngayon dito? Because I understand si Senate President Tito Soto, he has made some statements saying that the Senate may convene by May 4. So if that's the case, kailan inaasahan matapos yung nangyayaring hearing dyan sa House of Representatives? And in saying that, yung mga members ba ng House Committee on Justice, are they expecting nalulusot din ito doon sa plenary level dyan sa House of Representatives?
Neil, yung mga nakaschedule ngayon na clarificatory hearings, so far ay hanggang April 29 pa lamang. Doon nga tatalakayin yung allegation of the death threat ng Vice Presidente sa Pangulo. At pagdating ng April 29, muling pagbobotohan ng Committee on Justice kung magkakaroon pa ng mga susunod na hearing. So if majority of the members decide or vote in favor of adding more clarificatory hearings, posible na ma-extend pa yon. Pero kung hindi naman, maaari na silang maglabas ng kanilang committee report, saka pa lamang yun pagbobotohan ng plenary. At kung maka 1/3, saka pa lamang yun naakyat doon sa Senate. At may binanggit nga si Senate President Soto about the May 4. Pero again, sa level ng House, ito muna yung mga steps na kailangang pagdaanan bago pa magkaroon ng full-blown na Senate trial.
Well, pahabol na tanong na lamang, as you know, merong mga pending petitions right now dito sa Supreme Court questioning the legality and the constitutionality of what the House Committee on Justice is doing at the moment. No? So, worried ba ang mga mambabatas natin dyan about doon sa magiging desisyon ng Supreme Court, doon sa mga petition na yun? Or is that a story that is looming dyan sa mga hearings na ginagawa ng House Committee on Justice?
Neil, isa to sa mga in-address nila nung nakaraang clarificatory hearing at sinabi nila na hanggat walang desisyon ng Supreme Court, patuloy lamang ang Justice Panel sa kanilang mandate na sundin yung nandun sa rules for impeachment proceedings. At ngayon nga, ito yung kanilang ginagawang clarificatory hearings kung saan maaaring sumagot ang kampo ng Vice Presidente o ang Vice Presidente herself base sa mga allegation na ibinabato sa kanya.
Bel, walang present dyan from the side of Vice President Sara Duterte to make any defense or to respond dito sa mga lumalabas dyan sa hearing.
Tama, Neil. Ngayon, wala pa rin ang Vice Presidente at ang kampo niya. At kung sakali man kasi na pumunta, no, yung kanyang kampo, ay hindi pa rin sila maaaring sumagot dun sa mga alegasyon dahil tanging yung respondent o si Vice President Sara Duterte ang pwedeng sumagot at wala nga siya ngayon. Humingi din tayo ng panig ng kampo ni Vice Presidente at abangan natin yan sa ating mga susunod na update.
Okay, maraming salamat, Belle. That's Isabel Pecha reporting live from the House of Representatives.